welcome to the show.
Welcome back. Really excited to jump into today's show. We've been planning this for, well, there's knowledge and stories and stuff that's going to be going into these shows from the last decade and a half, but this show itself over the last 4 days. So I've been pumped for the last 4 days to bring it to you guys.
Cool.
Some of the things that we're going to be discussing today, one is going to be bringing deals back to life. So that's one thing I'm often hearing from guys.
There's honestly millions and millions of dollars of opportunity in this thing alone.
Yeah, totally. So if you simply look at, there are deals in your pipeline that...
Don't go into detail yet.
Oh, okay. We'll save it for later.
Yeah, save it for later. Save it for when it's meant to be.
Okay.
Also on the show is how to get more people to talk about you and your business in a good way. All right. And then we're also going to talk about and discuss a builder that bought back his time so he can spend more time with his family, like quite dramatically, which is awesome. That's something that we all want. And then also whether you are a vampire or a amplifier. So we're going to talk about that. We'll cue the intro for the show first. All right, awesome.
There we go. So jumping on to the news desk, one thing I want to talk about is referrals. So we all love referrals. We all love getting them. There's some of the strongest opportunities that come your way. And so how do we essentially increase and have more of them? Because what we have found talking to builders over the last decade and a half is that you can often sort of run out of referrals or outpace the referrals that are coming in. One would be either you start scaling faster than the referrals are coming in. So then you're not seeing the work coming in as fast as you need it as you are growing. It might be scope. So if you were busy doing decks and pergolas or smaller scale sort of projects, then you're trying to win bigger projects, but you do a deck and the neighbor gets referred to come see you to build a deck. Simple as that. Or you run out of friends. That's one I've heard from many builders is that you just run out of friends and family to build for. It was easy in the beginning when you were on the tools, maybe doing it yourself, and then you do one job and then the friend refers you, and all of a sudden you've got a team and now you've got to feed the beast.
I'll talk about the builder you spoke to last week.
Yes. So
a really good one.
Yeah. Last week actually, and week prior to that, two builders, just funny enough, in the last 2 weeks with huge, been operating for, one was like 27 years. The other one was like 40 years. And the 40-year veteran has never appeared online. You can't find any information about him. So just purely referral. And
which is a good thing, right?
Which is good. So one thing that I always look for and I'm always listening for when I'm talking to new builders is where's their work come from? And our referral says a lot, and definitely the quality of it in terms of where it's coming from, how consistently, all that sort of stuff is stuff that we listen for when we're choosing the builders we want to work with, because that says that there's proof of concept. Yeah. If people love working with you, they come back to you and you're the sort of person that can have ongoing relationships with past clients of yours, fantastic. That says that what you're doing is amazing. The gap is that you're not communicating it outside of that small circle of potential referral.
Yeah, well, I was just thinking in my mind when you said that, like 40, like that person that's been in business for 40 years, just the fact that they've been in business for 40 years and they've built their business on referrals, that means they've got a really solid and good business. They're doing good by people. They're having a good impact. People want to talk about that in a positive way, which is good. But I guess that kind of leads us into the next thing, where it's like, where does marketing come in?
So marketing in those scenarios, definitely our goal is we don't want to stop referrals. So it's never a case of referrals or other channels of inquiry. We want to increase referrals. Yeah. So that's often the approach we go to. If you've survived in referrals, great. That's how do we increase that?
Yeah.
So marketing,
and not just increase it, but how do we make it even better?
Yeah.
I think you're right. Like what you just said, it's like people, a lot of builders and businesses that we've seen in the past, they go, it's either advertising. I'm going to test advertising, and I'm going to and I'm going to test it compared to like referrals. Mm-hmm. And I think we should all start seeing it as like combined. That's the way we see it anyway in our business.
And sorry to jump in there, but like if you talk to our builders that have been with us for 5, 6, 7, 8 years,
they see that.
Plus, then they see that. If they see the big holistic, they look at it holistically and go, okay, I'm doing this marketing, advertising out there, putting the brand out there, and I'm seeing this consistent flow of referrals, and the referrals are getting better quality, more aligned?
Let's make it
More
more like
educated?
real life, right?
Okay.
So let's say, for example, um, someone refers a builder. Someone just built their place, and now a friend of theirs talking about, "Oh, I'm thinking about renovating or whatever."
Yeah.
And they go, "Yeah, you should give ABC Building Company a go. Just have a chat with them." What's that person going to do? Like, we are in 2026 right now, right? Phones, like mine's right here. Where's your phone? Right next to you.
Just
See,
next to me.
everyone. Like, you listening to this like this show right now, you're probably looking at your phone or listening to your phone. So the next thing you're going to do, the person being referred, is they're going to go look up ABC Building Company, right? So how do you show up? How much trust are you building there? And then the other thing is, then they should then they're going to check out your socials. See if you are up to date. Like, is this business real? Is it real?
Mhm.
Like, consistent?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On your, for example, again, really practical here, on your Instagram grid, they're going to check that out. Are you consistently posting there? Does it engage with them? Does it resonate with them? Do they feel like they can get to know you through that? And then also your stories.
Yeah.
Are you posting, as in like Instagram stories? Is there something that's happening that's been put up there in the last couple of hours, maybe, or just it just says that this business has a heart that's beating. It's living right now,
Yeah.
rather than websites are amazing. We never want to
Discount.
websites,
Mm.
but they are most of the time more static.
Yeah. And then
Years old. Or,
we've got to think about something else, right? This renovation is just one more thing in that person's life, right? They've got the kids, they've got the birthday parties, they've got this, they've got all these millions of things. So next time this person goes on Instagram just to get a bit of a quick fix on their feed, do you show up? All right. So this is where, really ads come in. You've got to keep showing up in front of them. It might be like, even if they are referred, it might take 6 months for them to
okay.
reach out, or even a year.
To add to that, so we're saying to increase more referral, marketing, advertising.
It's a thing that all works together.
Yeah, but what else can someone do?
Cool. So being super proactive, the manual way, and I think there's huge opportunity for this when it comes to builders. But the manual side of it is probably the biggest opportunity, or one of the biggest opportunity. It should just be part of your strategy.
When you say manual, what
manual,
do you, again,
right?
very simple, very practical.
Cool.
What is that?
Who can I message this week? Right.
So people, relationships.
Yeah. Who can I message this week? Who can I talk to? Who can I meet up with? Who can I build relationships with? All right. Could be referral partners, right? Could be architects, could be mortgage brokers, real estate agents, could be accountants. Have a look at like your business model, who you serve, who else has your customer or your client. Okay.
For our builders out there, because again, the show is for our builders predominantly. If you and I have not had that conversation about relationships and how to reach out to them, email after this show, email us PDF at bizvideo.com.au and we'll send you some resources. Otherwise, book a meeting with me. If you're one of our builders, you can book a meeting with me whenever you like, and I'll run you through some ideas, who you can network with, some amazing stories of guys that have acted on that. Some of you may have heard the story.
You've connected some awesome people together, man.
Yeah, well, just when guys start to think about, you're already interacting with people every day. So our goal is not to add more and more things to your plate. So when we have that meeting and I raise some ideas with you, it's about what are you already doing and who are you already interacting, that simply by how you interact with them, maybe just putting a smile on your face or just asking them how they're doing, asking them what's new in their life, and you get chatting with them, you don't know what impact that'll have and the referral that might come from that. Because, for example, and some of you I've spoken to about this example, one of our builders down south got a referral from, before I jump ahead, so local builder down south used to frequent a cafe, and one day somebody new to town walked into the cafe, wanted to build, and asked the cafe owner, could you recommend any builders in town for me? And he put forward 2 names. Our builder was one of them. He ended up winning the project. It was about 3.5 mil to the project. So just crazy to think that's kind of project that's sitting behind a cafe owner recommending you. But that only worked because that cafe owner knew who this guy was and knew the sort of value that he provided in order to put his name forward. So are you going to the same cafe every day, just as an example, and do they know who you are and how you help them? Obviously, you can't go in there and say, look at me. There's some strategy behind that.
So the point of the story here is build awesome projects, do good by people, have an awesome online presence, and build manual relationships.
Yes.
Right? Relationships. Heaps of other things you can do.
So important.
But that's probably, that's how you get more referrals, funnily enough.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's move on.
All right, I want to share a win. We shot a case study for ourselves, one of our builders, and it was amazing.
Is that a win for us, or
it is a win for us? And I'll get to the win for our builders win, but win for us. Let's start there because there's no tall poppy syndrome around here.
Yep.
Let's do it. So one of our builders, sat down and recorded a case study for us and just shared the impact that that's had on his life, and that was tremendous. That was amazing to hear.
How long
that
have we been working with him?
I would say at least 6 years.
At least.
At least 6 years.
And I know he listens to the podcast because, or the show, because last week he messages me. He's like, bro, you got to get a new mic.
So now he knows who he is.
Yeah.
And it was just so special.
We love working with him.
Absolutely love working with him.
Yeah.
But so special to hear some of those words.
Yeah.
Because, and that's probably goes for a lot of our builders, their clients tell them great things.
Yeah, they put blood, sweat, and tears into all these projects, run their business, all the risk, all the late nights. And then, when they hear something nice, it feels good.
So, there's definitely a lot. And that's when we found when we do case studies for our builders with their clients, so often there is so much more depth to their gratitude of what that builder's done for them when we sit down with them compared to what they've shared with the builder.
Yeah.
So what did he share in that case study? Yeah.
Well, I think a big goal for him in the beginning was that he wanted to, run this business, but also win back his time so that he can spend more of that time with his family, not have to post on Instagram the whole time and manage his social media and create his content and all that stuff, because you've got a million different things to do. So maybe you want to talk about that.
Yeah, that's probably a big one for a lot of our builders in terms of why they do enjoy working with us. And you guys out there know that it's taken care of.
Which leads us to the next one, which is like who, not how.
Yeah.
If you're listening to the show, you've probably read this book. We always talk about this book. I just went on holiday a few weeks ago and I picked up the book again. Didn't read the whole thing, but I did read a fair bit. And it's just mind blowing how valuable that who, not how book is. So instead of you doing something, like who in the team can do this, can probably do it way better than you. But then also like outside, like third parties, like contractors, people like ourselves. And I think this is where like the Sunshine Coast builder, where this story comes in, that look, he could have, probably gone down this rabbit hole of marketing, or he could have just gone to someone like us that actually know what we're doing, helping builders. And, he's putting his faith and trust in us to do that. Obviously we've got runs on the board there. But now he doesn't have to do that. Now he gets to spend time with his family and work on the business and do all the things he loves to do. We love catching up with him every now and then, which is awesome.
Let's move on.
Let's go there. Try this week. So what can builders try this week, JP, in terms of sales?
So based on the intro that I gave you at the start, in terms of deals that are sitting there that you maybe have left for dead but could be revived, is a big one. So a really good reminder is that when someone says to you, we're going to define the projects that have been sitting there. So these are projects maybe their client or prospect client said to you, we're not going to go ahead right now. We're just going to sit on it for 12 months. Let's revisit it in the future. We've got some stuff going on personally. We're just going to park it for now. So all of those projects, if you sat down and go back 3 years, I would go back as far as 3 years and go, what are the projects there that were sort of put down and somehow never got picked up again? Or maybe even, and this is one that I've heard before, we shot a case study actually with one of our builders' clients that had this happen. So they end up going with another builder rather than our guy. It didn't go well and they came back. So you just never know what stage. Let's say they say, no, I'm going to go with so-and-so because he's cheaper. And then, that guy just can't get it together.
But I don't know the stats. We should have done some more research around this. Yeah. But out of every 100 builds where they've got the idea of building, like how many of those builds actually go ahead? Like that's probably a good stat to know.
Yeah.
And whatever that percentage is, I think we'll be pretty surprised how low it is.
Of what actually gets built?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the quote of the day. How do you like this? The millions is in the ghost list.
So the ghost list, there's a term that we were playing around with, but it's those deals that seems to,
it's gone.
You think it's gone, but reaching back out. So let's get some
make a list
clarity around that.
Yeah, go sit down, make a list, go into all your old emails, your CRM, all this stuff. Look at all the old ones and go, how do I creatively reach out to these people? creatively meaning pick up the phone and call them and say, hey, it's ABC Builder. We spoke a while ago.
And
maybe you can
yeah,
suggest.
one thing that I've come across talking to builders and raising this idea with them, and you guys out there, so maybe I've talked to you about that, is that you can create a negative narrative in your mind, in the sense of like, oh, this project's dead. It's not going to go anywhere. They said no.
Mm.
They said it was past their budget. Now we've had inflation, so that there's no way they're going to do it now. But when they say it's out of our budget, if you could train your frame of mind to rather receive it as, we're not comfortable in investing that kind of money right now. So if you contact them in the future, 6 months later, a year later, 2 years later, things change. Who knows? They may have sold a business. They may have entered early retirement. They may have inherited some stuff. They may be open to selling shares down. They may have lost a family member, or they may have had an epiphany, of some things in life are actually more valuable than money in the bank or shares or things. And so, you know what? Actually, we do want to invest and have that home, because now that we've gone through this as a family, we realize, you know what? Family is really important. We want to create an environment that family can come together more often, and we can create an environment for that. So now all of a sudden they can justify spending the money that they, more than they originally thought, to invest in the home. So just, you never know
I'm curious what your thoughts are on this, Japes.
Yeah.
Let's say someone, like a builder, talks to a prospective client, like someone comes in.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden that deal's like just off the table.
Mm-hmm.
How long should the builder give it until they reach out again as a minimum? Like this is if a builder wants to systemize this whole thing into the future, like what do you think as a minimum?
This discussion I have with a lot of our builders,
Yeah.
those that I've got a few of our builders that love to reach out, and we brainstorm sales when a deal goes quiet, or they feel like they're losing grip on it, and we brainstorm some stuff on how to bring it back on track. Or we talk about ideas when they think they've lost it because it's gone to a cheaper builder, and how do we bring it back? So one idea there I would say is, you can still reach out and touch base with this person, and not to say, hey, can we start building? Or
like how long?
You could,
like 3 months.
Depends what the reach out looks like, because you could reach out a week later. You could reach out a month later.
If you're marketing in front of them the whole time as well,
then you're staying in front of mind.
You're staying in front of mind, but like that manual kind of phone call.
Okay, so for an idea, I would say, text and call them and just wish them a great week. 2 weeks later, and just say, just been thinking of you. Want to wish you a great week. Hope things are going well. Months later, 2 months later, you might text them again, and then call them and just say, been thinking of you. How's the project going? Just wanted to check in, because that's going to start to show a real genuineness. And what you are creating there, let's say worst case scenario, they have gone with the other builder and they've actually gotten started. Okay. But what you're doing is creating an ambassador for you, because now you become more angelic, because you're the one who's showing such genuine care, making sure they're looked after. Hey, if you need me to have a look over everything, let me know. You've gone ahead of them. That's fine. I just want to show that I care. So you start to create these people who are like, man, this guy's really nice, really genuine. So when something does happen on the project that they're working on, and whatever, they have a negative taint on that relationship with the existing builder, they're going to remember you being like, oh, because you haven't done anything wrong.
This is not just JP just talking stuff here. Like, this is legit. I've had so many of our clients go, we had a deal in our pipeline. It fell through. I stayed in front of them, and then these people referred me.
Yes.
And they got a project out of it.
Yes.
Like a good, even better project, because the brother or whatever who they referred to was even more like their ideal client. Just another thing you want to do as well, like, again, just when you do reach out and you do catch up again, you just want to remind them again and build that trust. So if you do have case studies, this is specifically for our clients. If you do have case studies at this point in time, what you want to do is have a look at the case study that most resonates, will resonate the most with this particular type of client. So if it's, let's just say, for example, it's a young family and you have a young family case study, you want to send that case study to them before you go catch up, just to build that trust again. And it's not about you sending it and go, hey, look at us, trust us here. Look at what these people are saying. It's just like, hey, here's a story of a family we helped also in Brisbane a few years ago or whatever.
Yep.
And it might give you a few ideas for your home, right? So,
yeah. Also, just to finalize on this, and there's so much we could talk about this in so many stories, but another story just to inspire you guys out there about the possibilities of this and to lean into it. One of our builders is about to hand over a project this month, I think. And this project, maybe 8-10 months ago, he started the project. But if you go back, say 12 months before that, the client said to them, okay, look, we're going to go and run some numbers on this and work on a DA or something like that. They had to go away and do some stuff. And so he felt like they were pulling out.
Okay.
And he wasn't sure what to do with it. And we were talking about it a year later. He just raised it. And anyways, I encouraged him to call them because it wasn't a no. They didn't say, no, we don't want to do this. They had reasons. Anyways, called them and they said, yeah, let's catch up. We'd love to get started. We've got all that stuff in place now. And he was like, what? And then they were building, I think, within 2 months. Or not building within 2 months, but within a month of that conversation, rectifying things, the contract was signed. So
that's awesome. It's epic. All right, let's move on. Some interesting things that grabbed our attention last week. Okay, we're going to quickly go through a few. Just going to share my screen. This one was really funny. So I was on Insta, and this came up. I'm just going to go and. So it's really interesting. So for those listening to the podcast, what you're looking at is like an Instagram carousel, and there's an image of a young man, and it's on the image it says, "Steve Gordon, your invoice is 6 months overdue. We have tried to resolve this with you privately, but now we have no choice to show it here." Then we go over to the next slide, and it says, "We built you this beautiful fence last year," and there's an image of a fence. Next one is 50 meters of corner frontage, and it's showing this home with some fence around it. And the next one, parcel box, arbor, custom pedestrian gate. It shows that. And then concrete mowing strip, automatic sliding gate. It all looks good. All right. And then the next slide is like the three guys sitting here. I'm assuming this is the fencing company owner, the crew sitting there. And it says, the text on screen says, "Okay, there's no Steve Gordon. We just wanted to show you our work. We know how much you all love drama." All right. And this one, it's not showing let me just see. It's not showing how many likes it's had, but it's had.
And it's had over 750 comments.
Yeah, it's had 760 comments, likes. For some reason it's hidden now. It was in the thousands. I'm talking 5,000 or whatever.
And it was posted 6 days ago.
Yeah. So
an attention grabber.
Yeah, it just kind of grabbed my attention. And it's an interesting one because this is a lot of builders will be looking at this, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh man, got to get this fencing company maybe in the future. Now he got the attention of other builders. So
just to note that important to understand your audience.
Yeah.
So their audience are builders, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So not your mum and dads and stuff like that. So always remember there might be some great attention grabbing and you go, oh, that's awesome. It's like, well, you're probably the audience. It's grabbed you. Doesn't necessarily mean that that's a great thing to copy and use for your own marketing for your audience.
But I guess the moral of the story here is, you just always want to think about how do I get the attention of people? Like if I live in obscurity as a building company, no one knows about me. That's going to be the end of it. Like your business will just be in obscurity all the time, right? So we always talk about how to get yourself out of obscurity. And these guys, they got that done. Next thing. That's for the fence.
That's for the fence. All right. Next thing I want to raise, we talked about this at the very start, is vampire versus amplifier. And funny enough, like I mentioned to you, had this chat with a few of our builders and just helping them be more aware of things. And that is there's two things actually.
Well, what happened? On the weekend, I was riding. Listening to a podcast.
Yeah, you were listening to a podcast while you were riding. I thought this is a great idea. We should talk about this, and this is a good reminder always for our team.
Yeah,
because this is kind of we want to be the amplifier always in scenarios. And so then Corne sent me the content, so I consumed it, and now we're talking about it. But it's a good reminder. It should be front of mind, I think, all the time, and that is when you walk into a room, are you an amplifier? Do you raise the energy in the room?
Do you inspire people?
Do you inspire people?
Do you make them feel good?
That's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
How do you make people feel? That's a big thing we've talked about a lot on any of our pieces of content is, people will always remember how you make them feel, not necessarily what you said. And so,
Or are you a vampire?
well, are you a vampire? Are you sucking the life out of that room? And so when you leave, people feel deflated, less inspired,
Yeah.
less energized.
And you can think of this is relevant for a lot of different things. This is relevant for you when you walk um, into a
Walk into a
team catch up.
toolbox catch up on
Yeah.
site, or
Toolbox.
team meeting, or when you're walking into a meeting with a client. And
Yeah. What energy are you bringing? Are you bringing, oh, this problem? Ooh, yeah, this is going to be hard to do this wall here. Or you're going to be like, hey, that's no problem. We'll get this done. Like, it doesn't mean you're going to do it. Like, it doesn't mean you're going to do it for free. Yeah. But your energy is like a no problem. Yep.
solutions orientated.
Solutions orientated
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yes. Point out the problems, but back it up with a solution straight away. Um, That's what I got out of that. But the other thing as well is, who are you hanging around with?
Yes.
Are you hanging around with other amplifiers, or are you hanging around with vampires? And this is why it's so important for building like business owners to hang around with and hang around with other people that build you up as well, where you can also build them up. Obviously, because
Also, your team members. Make sure when you're hiring people in your team and putting them on, do they bring an attitude to the team that lifts people up? I know there's one of our builders I was talking to, they recently got rid of someone because they just dragged the team down. So when the team was trying to do something, and I mean, I'm going to make this example up, but kind of the gist of it that they've shared with me is, let's say as a team we get together, go, hey guys, all right, how's everyone feeling? Everyone, roll their shoulders, get loosen up. We want to talk about, bringing some energy to site meetings. And this person would be like, oh, yeah, roll my shoulders, and just mock everything that the team was trying to do to instill good practice in their team and a good attitude. And it was always mocked and played down. And the business owner was just always too busy to pull it up, or maybe wasn't necessarily in the meetings that were happening in the office while he was on site, maybe. So it led to one of the major, most important team members just to work from home, because you just couldn't be around that. So,
well, and this is like the chicken or the egg kind of thing as well, right? Like, yes, it's one thing not to like employ those people, or or to let those ones go, but it's another thing is about like attracting. Who are you attracting into the team culture? And that goes hand in hand with your marketing and everything else as well. Like, when you do marketing, yes, it's definitely there to help you grow your business in terms of bringing in new like clients and projects, but probably just as valuable is what team are you attracting because of the marketing that you're doing.
actually, sort of cut you off there, but funny enough you mentioned that, because a builder I spoke to on Monday is exactly the reason why we're talking about having us come on board and help him. Is that he's like, I've got a full pipeline, not. I'll educate him around full pipeline, don't need a market, but definitely his greatest need is team.
Yeah.
I need team to fulfill this pipeline. And so we're going to be working on telling his story really from a perspective of, I want to be attracting the right kind of team, attracting the right kind of trades that want to work with me. And it all stems from what message you're putting out there.
Yeah.
Therefore, what are you attracting?
And also, are you seen as an amplifier in your marketing?
Yeah.
Mate, this is good stuff. Well, I hope the audience loves it as much as we do. Hit a comment, like send us a message. Like, even if my microphone sucks, send me a message. All right. Get off other builders' feeds. All right, Instagram. So this is one. Tim Sace, a really good friend of mine / client, have been great friends now for probably 9 years. Went to America with him. Catch up every single month. Catch up most mornings. His office is down the road here now. Is that his car? No way. I think that's his car. Anyway, he was just driving past. He's got a show called Foundations and Futures. It's a new podcast, and it's an awesome show. So if you want to go listen to that, go search it on Spotify, or I'll try and remember to link it down the bottom. But in this recent episode, he spoke about stop comparing your behind the scenes of your business with other builders or other businesses, like highlight reels. All right. You want to remember, like everything, like a lot of things people put out on Instagram, especially builders or businesses, is the good stuff. They want to present themselves as, good. And that's natural. That's fine. But the bad thing is when you compare yourself, because you know how risky it is to be a business owner, let alone a builder. And then also how many problems you have to face every single day, like the fears, the stress, and all that kind of stuff. and then you feel like, oh my goodness, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with my business? Right. So he spoke about this. It really resonated with me. And I see that with a lot of our clients as well. And he said that's one thing he stopped looking at other builders and their feeds. All right. It just, and I can see a clear difference in him and how he shows up.
Small little point, probably worth chatting deeper in a different show. But
Mm.
I was listening to some content this morning about expectations and about, and this one guy was mentioning expectations should not be defined by what return am I going to get on something. It should be expectations on I need to expect that this is the amount of effort I need to put in, and that effort needs to be way more. And so, just what you're mentioning there, maybe think about.
Sounds like a 10x book, like 10x Cronk.
It is. Often what can happen is when you look at other builders, so get off their feed, is that because you look at them and go, oh, look what they've done. I want that. I want to be able to flick the switch and have that.
Yeah.
As opposed to, have you bothered calling them and asking them, what did it take to get there?
Yeah.
Like Grant talks about when people go, he sees a big difference. The right kind of question is not, oh, how much did you pay for that Ferrari?
Yeah.
But rather, what did you have to do to get that Ferrari?
I love that. Yeah, and like scrolling, especially on Insta and YouTube and all that stuff, scrolling it is definitely like a vampire activity. When we talk about something that sucks energy out of you, we can be intentional with what we fill our heads with. I just wanted to give a bit of a shout out to Tim Say's Sky Construct podcast, Foundations and Futures. So it's awesome. Want to leave you guys with a little bit of value in terms of like something you can actually go implement this week, and that is a one pager on reopening ghost deals, dead deals. All right, so just send PDF at bizvideo.com.au a email and just call it dead leads, and hopefully that reaches our inbox. It doesn't go to spam because of the subject line there, but anyway. And what we're going to do is we're going to send you just like a one page of PDF in terms of how you can reach out to leads that have gone real cold. What are all the unique different ways and creative ways you can reach out? And then also a little bit of a process to it as well. You can always give this to your team if that suits your style of business. I know for a few of our clients that does a little bit more volume. They've got a bit of a bigger team. They might have some salespeople in place or some office managers and so on in place. You can give that to them, get them to reach out. But if you're a little bit more in that boutique style, give you some creative ways on how to reach out to that. Remember, guys, like even just that, there's millions in the cold deals. Like I don't know about you, but if we look at our CRM, for example, like the list is just so long and it calculates up. You're like, wow, there's a lot of opportunity in our cold dead leads. So definitely want to just leave you guys with that. What would you guys like to know or hear about on the show?